Hail Pandawans, artists and journeymen walking down that illustrated path. This is ABC with Samwise, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the process I use to make the new Hammerfall album cover art, Dominion. That's right. So here we go. Here's a little walkthrough. So this is the album art right here, and this is Demonic Hector. Every album, Hammerfall's sort of mascot, their hero, changes a little bit. And this time we went with one that was a bit more demonic. I'd say a bit more, don't you think? So the first thing we did was, what are we going to do to Hector? So obviously he's demonic. We wanted to do some cool horns. You know, we wanted to keep his face mask sort of there. Here was a tweak we did with a bit more of a skull face. And I thought that was a bit much. You know, so we kept the face mask here. Going back to the skull thing, looked cool, but one of the things is we don't want to change the character too much. We want people to know who it is. So by sticking with the mask and adding big elements like, you know, the horns coming out of his armor, the hammer, but the hammer's been, you know, breaking through with the demonic corruption. But we still have the motifs of the recognizable mask, right? The sun and the moon sort of things. And then here we tried... normally Hector has sort of, you know, bird wings, angel wings, whatever, and we went with more of a demonic one. So we thought that looked a little bit too different, so we stuck with the angel wings. It kept one more thing that kept him a little bit more. This character right here could be, you know, a little bit distracting for someone who isn't as familiar with Hammerfall, where this one, again, it's still different, but combined with the wings, the mask, and the hammer, you know, hopefully that ties it together to some of the older versions of him. So first thing I did was, after we came up with what Hector would look like, I wanted to go through and come up with some ideas for the album cover. So basically the red square here is the album cover, and these are a couple poses. This one here was a bit more of a sort of angelic looking one, even though he'd be demonic. That, you know, we'd still have maybe some brighter colors. We'd have light going forward, him rising up. This one I really liked. It sort of reminded me of, what's his name, Azrael from the old DC comics, like charging at you like that with the hammer. Again, this one had the bat wings. This one too had the bat wings. This was early iterations, but this was the actual cover we ended up going with. Very straightforward, powerful, right in your face. So from there, I started blocking out some of the art. And if as you can see, I'm just going right over the sketch that was approved and was going through. And so now, again, I made this before I started doing YouTube stuff, so I don't have a lot of the stages. I'm sorry. So a lot of it's going to be like that one internet owl thing, like first you draw a circle, then draw the rest of the friggin' owl. But as you can see, I'm sticking very close to the original sketch, but as I'm moving along, I'm refining the figure a bit more and more. So this is where we get some big jumps, but as you can see, blocking in the angel wings. And I'm working in black and white in this one a lot, because I like to work on all the different tones and grays. Here we go with a big jump. Look at that. Yeah, again, sorry about that. But yeah, so this was, you know, going through, and I just keep working and polishing and adding. As you can see, the wings, they're still largely the same, but I'm just starting to, you know, clean them up a bit more. Same with the armor. You know, if you'll notice here, the arm here is a little bit different than it is here. That's just me continuing to refine the shape. I added the foreground elements and some of the background ones. Now, one of the things they wanted was to have Hector standing in this demonic city. So as you can see, the mountains in the background here, they're the same ones here. I just dropped in a layer for the city environments. And it's very, very simple and crude, because it's not supposed to be the center of attention. You know, I like this one here. I love this one because Hector is purely the focus, but, you know, we wanted to also have a background as well. So, you know, dropping these in here, and then from then on, well, again, hey, welcome. Look at that owl. No, this is, as you can see, it's just I put over a layer in Photoshop, And everything, well, maybe the exception of the foreground I changed a little bit. Everything is largely the same. It's just adding more and more detail to the character. So once with the, I get the black and whites going, then I drop in the color layer and I get the colors going the way I like, and then I just keep refining and I keep refining. So here it is even more. I've added some fire to the wings and, added some contrast to the background. So if I go between the two, you can see this one has the base colors. But then on top of that, I do another layer and I really start pushing the colors and the contrast. So basically, I have the base colors that I did, then I do a layer on top of that, and eventually, boom, I get to the final layer. And this is where I put in all the effects and the final lighting on everything. So as you can see, not much changes once I get to the black and white, and then I go to my first color, the second color, and then final colors. And if you see, look, you can see the hammerhead. It went from being a little bit kind of, it looked off to me here, a little twisted, a little bit bent towards the viewer. I moved it more into line with where the handle is. So there's a lot of things like that are pretty simple to adjust. So boom, boom. Yeah. But the great thing about this is when you do, this one was a really big image. It was 11 by 17 inches at like 400 DPI. So when you do something that large, they're able to use this for the backdrop of their shows. And that's one of the great things, is the art becomes sort of a visual representation of the music. And that's always been a super, super big thing for me. I love the band, I love their music, and to have a part of that, have my art be a part of the visual interpretation of their music, for an album, and now it's been over many years, has been, such a cool thing as an artist. And yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit quicker. I know some of the other videos tend to be long, so I wanted to do this one a little bit quicker. And in the future, I'll hopefully be able to do some artwork, some speed paintings of some of the things. But like I said, this one was done a while ago, and I didn't have a channel at the time, and I didn't plan on doing a video of it. So I hope you guys dig it. And it doesn't matter, all you artists out there, it doesn't matter what you're creating with, whether it's pixel or paintbrush, right? It doesn't matter if it's pencil or polygon. All that matters is that you remember your ABCs. Always be creating. Cheers and beers, everyone. I'll talk to you later.